Okay, I really have to know, is there a time that you can say it's just too much of one character? Hey, friends revolutionaries! Time to take a look at the last of the Injustice figures that I've been able to find so far. So far, from what I understand, there are actually several different kinds of Injustice figures out, but for the DC Unlimited series, Superman, the Joker, and now Batman are the only three that I've been able to find. And Batman, funny enough, is the last one you're looking at, but was actually the first to get put out. Back when the DC Unlimited line was getting released, there was the Superman and Wonder Woman, along with the New 52 Batman, and strangely enough, the Injustice version. And he got released under the DC Comics label as opposed to the Batman Unlimited, or the Batman Legacy, or Batman whatever. So the possibility of more DC Injustice figures, yeah, I mean, it came under the Unlimited title. It wasn't just for Batman. Now, of course, being that this came out first, it doesn't have the Injustice burst on it, but it also means it doesn't have that just generic right up here. There's actually something to say about Batman. But much like down here, it's going to be pretty much the same we already know. Got the great picture of Batman, kind of stepping out of the misty remnants of whatever just happened. Last man standing kind of thing. That's an awesome picture. It looks really good. Of course, got a smaller version of that same picture on the side. And inside we do have Batman. Got the air holes because it's a Mattel product. I love the air holes, guys. Keep those going. It's not a Mattel. It's just I don't feel like I don't really have something from Mattel unless it's got air holes in it. I don't know. It's just a little thing. But yeah, the write-up. Well, let's start with the stats. Real name Bruce Wayne. Surprise, surprise. Occupation CEO and crime fighter. Location Gotham City. Powers, abilities, and skills. Martial arts expert, master detective, vast arsenal of weapons and gadgets. Yeah, that sums up Batman fine. Now, his write-up, as a young boy, Bruce Wayne saw his parents fall victim to a senseless crime. His focused purpose became to avenge their deaths by fighting Gotham City's criminal elements as Batman. The people of Gotham see Batman as almost mythical figure, able to tame any adversary, no matter how powerful. To thwart crime, he relies on his awesome deductive powers, sheer physical speed, and assortment of high-tech weaponry and unique crime-fighting aids. Tells you nothing about the game. Tells you nothing about the game. I like the fact there's a write-up, but how about a little bit of an insight, and call it spoiler, but how about the fact that Batman was actually, like, fighting the Joker when he and other Justice League members got pulled in the other dimension. And now him and the rest of the Justice League have to sort out the troubles in this other world. You don't have to give away a whole lot, but just a little bit. Something a little bit more about why this is the Injustice version. But, oh well. I asked for it. I got a write-up. It's the same one as any other Batman. Let's go ahead, get the figure out of the pack, and find out if this is like any other Batman. Be right back. Alright, now the bat's out of the bag, or box. If I probably use that. I'm not very creative. I probably used that before. But anyway, now that we've got Batman open, taking a look at him, I do want to make a quick comment on something, because it actually, I actually thought I knew the answer to it, and I didn't. But in the review spot's review of the Joker, I think it was, he had asked why they kind of did why they were doing the Injustice Insurgents characters. Well, for Superman and Joker, for the ones that actually had the little burst on it, they're the insurgent versions. And I kind of thought to myself, well, you know, they probably just licensed those alternate universe characters, you know, because for whatever reason, I don't know. That's what I thought. But then, you know, I take a look at this Batman, and of course, this is not the insurgent Batman. This is actually supposed to be the heroic version. I won't say ours, because of course this is not the new 52 look on Batman, but it's definitely the heroic version of him. You know, you can tell, you know, the cape doesn't come down to the top of the Bat's head. That I'm happy about. I was not all that keen on the insurgent design for Batman. For the heroic version, you know, for the good version, yeah, I mean, as far as design goes, I'm okay with it. I'm pretty okay with the look on it. I especially like the fact that, you know, if they're gonna do panels, if the new 52 is gonna be all about panels and plates and armor and realism or whatever, you know, at least in this case, they went more with like how the movie armor is, where there's certainly an undercarriage or under bodysuit that he wears that just has additional plates and armor pieces on it so that it moves more easily. You know, that was the whole reason in the movie while he redesigned his suit, was so that it wasn't so stiff and so, you know, inflexible. You know, here I like the fact that they've kind of acknowledged that by putting a space between the various panels and armor pieces, and that you can see he's got kind of this heavy, you know, black undersuit, whatever. I like that. I like that kind of realism in there. I mean, I might be completely wrong. I mean, if you look on his back here, and if you look at the back, the back is just as much one solid armor piece as the front, just not quite painted. Because, of course, you know, the cape covers it up. But no, for the most part, on the design on him, I like it. I like the design. The spines, the spikes, the quills, whatever you want to call them, that are on the gloves, yeah, they're a little overdone. They're a little Asbat. They're a little overdone. I don't know if you need to go quite so vicious on them, but yeah, that's a little overdone. The belt looks great. Belt looks good. No problems with the belt. The face. Again, as far as the figure goes, I think the figure translates the character from the game pretty well. I mean, throughout it, there's the black, there's the gunmetal silver, and then there's the darker blue that kind of run throughout it, just trying pulling everything together. You know, it's a little hard to tell sometimes, but like at the top of the glove, there's the blue. On the knees and the lower leg, there's the blue there. So, you know, there are places where, and of course on the cape especially, but it tries to pull everything together. And that's good. I like that on color. The mask, you can really see where the black and silver and blue all come together on the mask. And it's not bad. It's not bad at all. I love the fact they got the nice long bat ears. You know, it's something where I think they could have even exaggerated them a little more, just made them a little bit longer. I think that actually would have been very cool to kind of take that longer-eared Batman and bring that back here, make these just a little longer, not much, just a hair, but just kind of exaggerate them a bit. That would have been cool. But again, that's all in style and design. And I think for the design from the game, he looks fine. He looks great. But that is where my problem comes from, because as I mentioned with the new 52 Flash, I don't like chin straps. I don't like chin straps. So I especially don't like the chin strap on Batman, because you get so little of his actual face showing through. I mean, maybe that's the way to better hide your identity, maybe. But aesthetically, I don't really like it. I don't like it. I think that that here, if you look, you can kind of see where the chin strap comes up and around the side. And there's this clear line where his cheek and his jaw are kind of separated. You can see that. I think that if they had left that whole part from the cheek around the jaw and back around and done a more traditional Batman mask, I probably would have liked the look on the face a lot more. I mean, such as it is, I mean, it's a fairly nicely done Batman from the game. But that's where the problem comes from. Again, I don't really like the design for that mask, that look for him. Also, and this bothers me even a little bit more, is the fact he's got a cape that goes straight across. I mean, call me what you like, but I mean, I always imagined that Batman's cape should have the little points on the end. That is a iconic version of Batman to have the points. And when he doesn't, it just doesn't quite look right. You know, it's a nice cape. It's got some nice sculpting to it. It's, you know, typical soft plastic. But it's not like they couldn't have put the points in the game. I just don't know why they opted to go straight across. I don't get it. And then another thing that's been bothering me, and this bothers me more the look I look at it, but you know, again, with all the paneling and everything, it looks nice. It looks good. I especially like how that armor comes out looking on here. And from the torso all the way down the leg to about where the knee is, it all has the same theme. But when you get to the boot, basically you have a kneecap and a shin guard. And that's it. You know, you have little hooks there to try and, you know, show where it's connected, but the back of the boot doesn't really have anything. So among this suit of armor he's wearing, if you will, the boots are a little lacking. And a bigger thing for me, and I don't know if it's because they're so small, I don't know if it's because they're so small, or if because they've got this silver tip painted on it, but when I look at it, and maybe it's even the fact that the shin guard comes down right here at the ankle, but somehow I just get the feeling that without anything on the foot itself, I just get the feeling he's wearing sneakers. It's like, you know, he's got this really awesome armor, this great battle suit, looks really good, and then for whatever reason, he just had to throw on a pair of sneakers. It stands out, and it bothers me the more I look at it. The more I see it, the more it bothers me, because the top of the foot is just black with those with the toes painted silver. It really looks out of place. It really looks out of place, and like I said, it really looks like he's wearing sneakers. It really kind of gets to me. But that stuff aside, like I said, I mean, it's a fine version of the game version of Batman. It's okay. There are just some improvements that I think it should have. I like how the cape comes over the shoulders here. I like that new style of the cape coming into the upper part of the collar. Instead of kind of coming across the neck, it actually comes into the collar area and goes into the chest plate. Both for Batman and Superman, for caped characters, that's actually a nice design change. I like that look. It seems to make a lot more sense than just choking across the neck. But it does also mean that the cape and the cowl are two distinct pieces. You know, it's not the same piece. They're not all together. I mean, it's up to you as to what you like. For his articulation, this is the first figure that came out for the Injustice line, so this is the one we can blame. But he also has a, well, okay, not the best ball-jointed head. It'll go down and back and side to side. Not really, I mean, twist, but not really a side to side there. The shoulder does come up and out and twist, with no twist in the bicep. And that's something I I guess we just, for New 52, or New 52, for Injustice figures, this will just be the norm, I suppose. You know, we're not going to be able to have him cross the arm across his chest. Fortunately, again, there is the twist at the shoulder. So for a Batman figure, if you wanted to, he's got the bend at the elbow. He's got the twist in the forearm, which I won't get into again because he's got the twist in the forearm and on the hand. So, again, I won't get into that again. I've already talked about that. But for a Batman, if you want to go ahead and have him hold a batarang over his head, you know, the shoulder does twist, so you can get it up over his head. I don't know about anybody else, but on the DC Unlimited or the DC Universe figures, the classic figures, I would always twist it at the bicep to do that. You know, fortunately, the shoulder has it, but you know, it's not how I normally do it. He does have a twist up here in the top torso. No crunch, just a twist. And I'm always a little iffy about these twists up in the top torso. I'm always worried these things are going to break. So I'm not going to really move him a whole lot. I may pose him every now and then, a little different, but I'm not going to work that joint too hard because I'm just a little, you know, scared it's going to break. On the legs, of course, they both go in and out, and they are a little loose on the hip joint there. They go forward. Oops, they go forward. Twist in the thigh, bend at the knee, twist in the knee, which again I don't see the point for. I don't understand it. And then a hinge of the foot. So all the DC Injustice articulation is here, for good or for bad. He's got it all. As far as his design goes, it's not bad. I mean, it's actually a nice translation from the game. Question you have to ask yourself is, you know, were you all that jazzed about how he looked in the game? To be honest with you, I am thrilled that they did the Arkham City skins. That's one of the things I wanted to make sure I got was those Arkham City skins. Because even though it's not a bad Batman design, and even though I think that it's always good to do something kind of different, and I like this kind of different, I'm sorry, I just think a more traditional Batman comes out better. So, I'm not saying it's a bad figure. I'm saying it's actually a really good figure, just not the best design. Anyway, this wraps up the Injustice figures for now. Green Lantern's still on the way. Got some kind of different stuff coming up pretty soon, so hope you guys stick around. In the meantime, rate, comment, subscribe, join the revolution, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.